wants to do anything that early. They want to be able to get into the fight once they get their ultimates. Once Nasus has that Q farmed up, they do look to be switching this a little bit as well. We see Cop going top.
Terms of items, very, very similar. Actually, Crepo picking up a mana potion, maybe looking to harass a lot, maybe not thinking that the bottom lane can trade harass, which is correct. The new cog really lacks the ability to trade harass with an early Ezreal Sona, at least for the first couple of levels.
Push in top to get that ward on the Wraiths. They're going to make their way out, so they get a little bit of jungle vision throughout that first early portion of the laning phase. Moving back towards mid, kind of revealing themselves. I think they obviously
they're
saw
definitely
Curse
looking
as well.
to 1v2. As soon as you see Cop's positioning from the spectator point of view, he's already at the top part of the map looking to do double golems, which is smart. But unfortunately, him being all the way there means they lose 100% control of the blue buff.
Yeah, they have gone all the way for it. They had the ward in. The ward caught everybody moving towards the top, and they said we have control. But now, with that movement towards top, they have to reconsider if their blue buff is being taken, and you can see them kind of just backing out of the situation. Pings going down everywhere, and a big walk for both teams, and really just turns into a reset.
That's a really, really, really weird ward placed by Curse. I've never seen a dragon ward placed in that position. It would be the same as warding Baron up top. It's just not something I see much. It's not something that I feel like is very effective either, because most teams don't do that. Because the vision it gives doesn't really help any lane, but like it only really helps off the invade.
I guess right now it's telling them that it's going to be the 2v1, and it looks like they're going to be able to thwart that and put the game back to the normal, not so much meta, but normal laning partners.
So not surprising at all, Wicked calls the CLG calls the 1v2. They know it's coming. And Wicked was like, just let me 1v1 them. Because I bet he's thinking, like, I can crush this guy. Because that Wicked is very, very confident as Aurelia. I'd be very surprised if he loses a matchup which has an on-hit, which has, like, Aurelia's kit.
Boy does have a little bit of armor to start off this matchup just because of Nasus. But Wicked, like you said, can just bite down through that. It's going to be a tough one for him. But they seem to just be freezing the lane here for FarmFest. That's what it could be between these two lanes. No prime aggression off the beginning here. We saw Cop coming to lane last time as
Snoopy looking to invade for this blue buff, but I think Saint knows. He's going to look to cut. And
that's Exhaust and red buff versus Snoopy. Yeah, he's going to back right out.
Right.
Actually, he's waiting on this one, kind of pushing back in. Looks to get another shard down, only a little bit of damage, but really this is great because he's just keeping Saint from his jungle, stopping him. Snoopy now has the chance to do a little bit of counter, and here comes Wicked. Beautiful play there. Snoopy going in for the aggression, and Saint is forced to concede that blue buff.
Yeah, no. CLG, you definitely playing this very, very well. They have the advantage top lane, they have the advantage bot lane, they have the advantage in the jungle with better warding, and they have almost complete control of the map right now, except for in the top red jungle, purple side jungle.
It's going to hurt Saint a little bit. He's happy that he does not use mana, but it looks like he's going to try to get through this one. Still going for the golems, using his smite to get that down. He has the chance to push top, but he looks to be too low, and he's really just forced into bad positions for that last minute due to that push from Snoopy. A huge advancement in the jungle there for them. Like he will try to continue. Last time he went, I don't think he even built the Heart of Gold. He just went straight for that Warmogs as well after getting all the recipe items. So we'll have to see what Saint goes for this build on Mundo. Last time he was pure tank. The Warmogs into Thornmail, I think, was his second item. Just continuing his boots for defense as well. As CLG EU just preps this top to be pushed in. Cop and Elements taking free damage constantly from the poke of Sona. That's the great thing about having her in your lane. You're always going to be landing those power chords on either the support or the AD carry, so there's always harassment.
Mundo looking to gank bottom. This is definitely something they need to succeed. Wicked's overstaying, but I don't really think they can kill Wicked. Like, Wicked has the sixth sense. Like, he knows something might happen here, so instead of staying, he goes to back out, or is he going to stay for a little bit more harass? And he comes in. I don't even know if this gank will work. Saint's red just fell off.
Oh, there's the Blade Surge. He puts himself into the fight. Could he get the Equilibrium onto Saint? Will be the stun, but I think there's just too much crowd control. The flash is up. Can he dodge the next Cleaver? The Wither cannot go. They're under the turret. He gets the Equilibrium strike on. Blade Surge in. Will it be enough to take down Saint Vicious? He looks to live from the tick. And first blood going to Void Boy on Nasus.
Oh, very impressive play. I was very surprised that Saint lived there. But the dive worked out for them, and now really is in a really bad position, being behind almost a whole wave there. Snoopy having to go down to cover it, so it's not a complete loss. Snoopy can cover and get to level 6 a lot faster.
Elements trying to like call out the bait here. Goes to draw the power cord from Crepo. Actually gets that to go out, and Crepo has throw down to a minion.
Yep. No, Curse Cop and Elements in the bad position. They know that the wave is shoving against them, pushing the other direction. So what they do is they just go and take golems. However, I don't know if that's a good idea. They go and take golems before the wave completely pushes past middle, which means they're going to lose. Force CS come back to lane, still not going to be able to do anything. If anything, they probably need to call someone to come or wait for Yellow P to go back here.
That lane's just going to sit in mid as well.
Oh, wow! The fact that Nunu's keep going there with only by himself, or Cop's there only by himself, and they're not playing aggressive on them is really strange.
And they have vision of same vicious in mid.
Yeah, they have vision that they're trying the vision in mid. If they literally just all in him here with Crepo, they could have at least forced a summoner, if not kill.
Acting as a human ward, a huge opportunity miss from Counter Logic Europe, and they just show how defensive they are in the early part of the game. Slow and steady for them, just like Curse. We'll see who it really comes out on top for here. Curse again getting an upper hand in the early part of the game, as they have been, so they're keeping that consistent. 7 minutes into this one, they hold a small 500 gold lead.
Oh yeah, so Curse, like I said, Saint just need to come in here, quickly push out the wave, so the wave equalizes, and he just leaves after he does that. Cop's definitely going to be behind probably about 20 CS after this wave clears up at the tower. Not in a good position to be, and I knew this lane would win off just the matchup is pretty bad.
Bottom lane, Wicked, you can see just how much that first gank hurt. It is 43 to that CS of 36 for them.
So not too bad, because Wicked has a huge wave pushing up on him. Wicked can recover in this lane in about, like, by the time he hits 6. It's not a huge loss for him. He decides to go Merc Treads, though, against this strong of a Wither. That's fairly surprising.
Boy, just crushing down onto Wicked right now. He really can't do much in lane. He's trying to keep his CS up, but he's just forced to chug down potions. And like you said, that choice of boots really isn't effective for him, or may not be.
It synergizes well with his Ionic Spark Wits End build, but he hasn't gotten those items yet, so it's kind of not doing too much for him.
Throwing down his ultimate, going for the strong push. The Wither is down to really just cut out the damage. Sona is back up top, and even Curse isn't taking the advantage of knowing this. Element should be in his face, blasting him every time he gets the opportunity. Oh, there he goes, he heard me. And they're just continuously putting down the harass, dying a bit of experience. There's a true shot barrage who doesn't miss too much. That gank down bottom. Boy taking a lot of damage here. Do they have what it takes? And the ultimate keeping him alive. Nasus almost a Lux laser. Nasus showing how formidable he can be in this lane with the right help from his jungler.
Yep. Lux just went for a random ulti, hoping he can get it. Wasn't a big loss for him. He's still equal in CS. Tried to make a play and it didn't work out.
74 to 73, like you said, equal in that mid.
Oh wow, Jackie.
Oh, Jackie steals big Wraith. A little bit of beautiful harass there. A dissonance will keep him safe. And he knows that mana fight is not in his favor, so he backs off from that. More than happy to just kind of get that one over on Froggen.
Yep, and you see Nasus' items. He's deciding to just rush Glacial. He needs the early CDR to help build up his Q, and it's a very strong item against Aurelia as well as Ezreal. So if he just rushes the Frozen Heart, he has a huge AD steroid from his ulti, and he has a huge debuff from his W. So that's going to be his team fight presence. I'm just a little bit worried because I hope that he can live through the ganks. Like, he's been doing a really good job surviving this entire time and actually winning the lane off the first gank. So it looks like a lot of what that Nasus has issues with in lane are a little bit absolved if you get a lot of jungle pressure, which is what Saint has been doing all game.
Yeah, I was just going to say, when you finished up, big props to Saint. Counter-jungled on his blue early, was able to come out, as we said in the beginning, the first kill for himself with Amumu last game, got him that Oracles, the assist, and his jungle farm got him that Oracles and the Heart of Gold this time. So he's just really escalating his play each game, and Mundo's really working out for him in these teams. Cop Elements still pushing back onto Yellow Pete and Crepo. The CS there, 76 to 69, so the lane just pretty back and forth, but Yellow Pete going for pure damage off the bat with the sustain from Zona to keep him in that lane as much as possible. So they're going to be looking really to get that burst from Ezreal quite early.
The middle lane just split even CS, nothing too crazy there. In terms of jungling, Saint always picking up such an early Oracles to play Minesweeper on the sideboards. He's doing an excellent job putting pressure on the map, even while not being there, which is something that you'll see a lot in competitive play on whenever a jungler gets ahead.
And we see the ping of Reward going down. Now Snoopy knows he doesn't have to waste time going down bottom. These teams always communicating, figuring out what the next best move is. We can see.
Are they getting blue buff to Void?
Yeah, that's and the Glacial Shroud he's going back to buy.
Okay, that's strange. I did not expect that.
They had to have talked it out between Nijaki. I mean, he's not having too bad of a middle. He's got he's got the Chalice. He should be all right for now.
I can't help but think that Jackie really wanted it, and Boy was like, "No, please give me it." And Jackie was like, "Okay, whatever."
It's like, dude, I'm Nasus.
Yeah, no, if Nasus can get past lane phase, get to a late game, he's actually like an excellent late game champion. It's just like, it's like Poppy, like
kind of
it's
over
working,
excellent.
yeah.
It turns silly.
Working into that late game with a champion like Poppy or Nasus, it takes quite a bit of work. But that's what they're doing right now.
It's really relying on something, and I'm surprised more pressure hasn't been put on them. Top trying to get a few pokes in, takes one for himself in the fight under the tower again. Boy just going harass as he throws down that shred for Wicked. Tries to keep him in that Spirit Fire, moving around, getting that Q stacked up.
Yeah, no, with that blue buff and that Glacial Shot, he has almost 40% CR. He can look to dominate the lane just by how low his cooldowns are. He's got innate health regen or sustain just because his passive gives him passive lifesteal, which synergizes off the extra bonus damage from Q. Oh wow, they're looking to kill him. Ooh, that's such a smart play. I'm surprised Saint didn't fall for that, to be quite honest. I actually think did Saint miss the ward, or did he?
No, it was really close. The ward was placed down, and Lux was on the backside, and they were going to wombo combo the Malphite ultimate, but he walked off out of distance before that could happen. Going top though. Looks like they could position for the 3v. And he will come around. He's going to clear this ward. No, Saint's going to walk away and return 5 seconds later just for the gank after these golems. Bottom lane still being pressured. Saint does not have to go bottom anymore, and this is where you think you would see Snoopy. He's really just been chilling top lane when Yellow Pete and Crepo not having that bad of a lane. Snoopy needs to start helping Wicked down bottom. It's not a lost lane, and he usually bounces back, but
Snoopy's sort of a really low damage jungler. I don't think without
even
red buff,
even to get the kill.
Yeah,
right.
Without red buff, I think it'd be really hard to even kill Void. So right now, they're content. Wicked can just split farm CS in the lane, even though Void has blue buff and Glacial. CS-wise, Wicked is winning, even after the early pressure. So they're satisfied just leaving Void there. Like he's putting a lot of pressure, sure, but he's not necessarily winning in CS, and so Snoopy can just look to camp other lanes. And
and
that's how much they trust Wicked to equalize lanes, even after a loss.
Exactly what he's doing right now. Beautiful job by Cop as he starts falling out of the air. Instantly hits Cleanse to move himself out of that, like half second he would even be stopped. Maybe to clear the wave. He likes snow. Wanted to do it.
Okay, I don't think there was much of a reason for that. So Void goes bottom. Void knows that Malphite ulti's down, and he can just free farm bottom.
He's just standing right in turret range. Almost looked to get a shot there and take one of the shots to himself and really set up Wicked for a good dive. He's going to hit Equilibrium Strike, but Boy is just going to be able to throw on his ultimate and really just get through this one easy. There's a few shots that he didn't want to take, but he'll be able to sustain.
Yeah, no, because of Void's early pressure, they're able to take a free dragon without any problem. Wicked can't contest with that low health, low mana. He's CSing fine, but sure, but they get the early dragon control, and they're up 2k gold. So they're doing pretty well. They're doing pretty well.
That was good communication. Crepo, Yellow Pete going back. They said we have enough. We don't even need to pull our AD down. And they take that 3-man dragon.
I think the problem area is in the B. Wicked buys his Ionic Spark, and then he picks up a red buff. And as soon as he does that, bottom lane's lost. Because there's no way... Well, I don't think there's much of a way for him to fight that. But we shall see. Snoopy is just holding the lane for Wicked right now. And top lane, fairly equal. I'm surprised. They equalized fairly well.
Two Dorans does make Cog a little bit tankier, and he's got that Blood Boil from Nunu on top of the almost same buy the Yellow Pete has right now. He's looking for about 300 more gold to finish that Bloodthirster. Saint back top, no real words for him. Oh, there is one in the bush just below him to the left. Yellow Pete will show that he knows, and he will try to get some damage out here, giving Saint harassment. Saint now, the focus is on Voyboy, or not Voyboy, rather Wicked knows he can freeze this lane or choose to push it with that vision of Saint top. He's got a little time to do what he wants here. Froggen, really, like you said, that skill matchup just continuously back and forth, only a difference of 9 CS right now. And
It
really have to see where the team fights come.
Yeah, there won't be any progress in lane unless Jackie gets hit with like Jackie and Frog get hit with a bunch of random binds and random skill shots. Really nothing they can do. And Wicked actually going really hard in on Void.
He is, especially Voidboy coming back to lane with the frozen heart on. Voidboy chooses to stop though. Gets hit once. He still has most node, waiting for his cooldowns to come back up. Spirit Fire, Wither back up now. He's gonna go in for the fight. Wither's down on Wicked.
Oh, is he
really mitigating a lot of that damage.
Oh,
he throws the Ignite down.
That was pretty much a wasted Ignite.
Yeah.
And Snoopy comes top with the Oracles, looks to sweep.
That'll even deter Snoopy to come bottom.
And Voy is going to just take blue buff again. So this time Voy is going to play the role of the AP carry, or who always cries for blue buff. So
right.
I'm really surprised Jackie's been able to give it up, but Jackie's been able to give that up and not lose CS. So that just shows not only Jackie's skill, but also Oriana's like ability to wave clear is very, very good.
Wave clear, play a skill dodge lane, and just keep yourself out of that. Lux being very good
they're going
at zoning
aggressive
with
top
E.
lane, and they back out.
Saint. I was going to say he's down to 4th health, trying to initiate that fight with his team.
So red buff is up. I would really like Aurelia to take this. Literally just run to it, take it, and then go to the lane. Because I'm pretty sure red buff Wicked can beat down a frozen cart blue buff dog or Nasus.
Go, dog. So here he is actually putting the pressure on. Look at that. Free damage. Wicked knows. He's got to see the damage trade there. However, that Q right now on a 2.4 second cooldown. So those auto attacks from Wicked better be substantial if he wants to get past Voidboy. And you can just see the potions on top of his sustain now at full health. Wicked can't even swing to get his sustain in. And he is actually hitting him up here. So he cannot farm as well. Really all the harassment onto Wicked right now. And his Mundo, or like you said, Malphite can't even help that much. He is trying to come down. He will try to give him some help, but that early ward from Voidboy is going to give him that tell.
Oh, and Void knows he's here.
Yep.
Wicked wants to go in on this, but Wicked gets slowed. So Felipe just clears the ward.
It's a great job there. It's almost a great counter.
Wicked should definitely shove this and go to red. He's making the smart play right here. All right, so he should be going to red buff right now. Yep. There's no reason for Snoopy to ever get this, especially with Wicked on the bottom lane and with Wicked needing help. Wicked, reminder, Wicked's still ahead in terms of CS.
Snoopy has this himself every time he's doing it, so it's way better on Wicked. He's going to be in the fight auto-attacking a lot more. We'll see. We'll really see how this turns the tide of this bottom lane fight. Top lane really hasn't been too much of a factor for these teams. 0-0 across the board for both AD carries and supports.
Saints coming in bottom. It's hard. It's going to be hard for.
He could. Oh no, he's not. I was going to say both were going to go one river, one lane gank. But looks like actually Saint will go for the lane gank here.
I'm curious if Boots Boy is going to pick up here. Probably Merc Treads, but maybe even Tabby to deal with Aurelia's auto attack damage. And Saint bottom
in the bush.
This is a smart.
So Wicked thinks he can push. That Voidboy went back, but Voidboy's like, nope, still here. He's not really showing Mundo though.
And CLG, you finally take down the top turret. They could just swap here, to be honest. If Nasus is an issue, or Nasus is an issue, bottom, then they could just look to swap.
And there it is. Wicked goes to face check the bush. There might be enough crowd control to lock him down. There is the exhaust, and he is definitely going down on this one. The Q, and Voidboy picks up the second kill of the match on Nasus, the least person you want fed.
You know, Saint's been doing a great job impacting bot lane here.
Even the fact that Voyboy really winning the lane, they're still creating opportunities for lane ganks all the time.
Yep. But that's what happens when you get an early Oracles on such a tanky champion like Mundo. Really, the only character that can stop him is it has to be a jungler plus the middle lane killing him off a ward bait, and that's what they tried and weren't able to succeed because it just didn't happen.
You can see the switch up in composition for the teams now. Saints are able to go for a little bit more of a less tanky build, more innate to just going into the fight and helping when Nasus now taking over the tanky.
Curious if Snoopy's going to go in on this. Nope. He decides not to. Wasn't really worth it. We can easily flash a max range Malphite ulti. And still, the game definitely Curse's favorite right now. 3K gold advantage. I'm not going to call it CLG out right now, but
there hasn't been any team fights.
Right, but Voy is very, very big, and he just straight by the Shurelias off his gold per 10.
The scoreboard looks very barren right now. It's only 2-0-0 for Voyboy.
Voy just ulted, and they're gonna have to back out here.
They actually Voy and St. Vicious ulted, so there is two big ultis that are going to contribute to this fight.
On Yellow P, he easily had the ulti there.
A lot of wards going over here. Looks like they'll be able to grab Dragon, so they forced this fight, and that was great. Really great for both teams. They've actually pulled Nunu and Kog'Maw off the top lane, so nobody was even free farming on that.
Had Ori ulted, and then they had a Shurelias. They could have initiated that. I'm kind of surprised it backed up after how really huge Nasus is. Like
I think it was a good amount of miscommunication, and both ultis being half over or almost down would have.
They can dive middle. Oh, and this.
Oh, what a flash out of the Malphite ulti! Beautiful job by Nijaki.
Yep, really good flash. And really good idea by Snoopy. Snoopy saw Nasus bottom, knew that at best it'd be 4 people mid, and immediately went in.
Looks like Voyboy is going to do everything he can to push this down. He is having fun bottom, leveling that Q up to 291 plus physical damage right now. It's going to be hitting for about 500 damage a Q, depending on who he's hitting. Wicked's going to clear this up nice and easy. That next Spark able to push this lane back out. The top lane is down, so this is some scary farming here without ward coverage or your supports. What are the lanes to do now besides with that Dragon down? You're going to clear the jungle. Is it just look for that team fight and push mid?
Yeah, pretty much. Lux creates opportunities to get picks, and so it's really up to Froggen to be able to look for the pick opportunities, while it's up for Curse to be able to initiate in. But they have no hard initiation, so they're looking to get dove on, and CLGU is looking for that single target pick because they don't want to dive with a full 5 unless they're really far ahead.
That's true. Curse's late game initiation really relies on Shockwave.
Yep.
Like that's about it. You're going to see people running into the fight, completely telegraphing the aggression from the opposing team. They have to be careful. Could get quite sticky for them as they come into this late game phase. Middle still being held. Froggen doing a very good job there. 274 to 248 as he finally broke away from Nijaki in the CS in the farming region. And as they clean up their jungle, they'll look to push this mid. It keeps resetting with both Orianna and Lux, or Froggen rather, being there. Voyboy getting very big.
Yep, Voy's just straight farming. He's still not above CS of Wicked though. Like Wicked's fine. He's still in the game. It just all that help has just been able to get Voy to a late game, and that's really what they needed because that Wither debuff is such a huge move speed, attack speed slow. If you ever get that on the AD carry, he literally will hit you once.
And it synergizes amazing
every 2
Frozen
seconds.
Heart.
Yes, absolutely.
That's even something you can multitask onto somebody else and say, you know, this person is also a threat. Let's wither Aurelia and just stand next to, you know, Ezreal. See how they decide to play it. They'll probably just crush down on one person. It's going to be quite quick. A lot of power can come out of this team. You're going to have Kog'Maw just tearing somebody apart after that Shockwave with Blood Boil on.
Curse split pushing 2 lanes right now. CLGU kind of wandering around looking for a pick with Lux, but I don't know if they'll get it with the kind of positioning that Curse is in right now. And so they're going to have to send someone top right now. More than likely going to be the AD carry, so Yellow Pete's already heading out over there, and Mundo just comes, rotates back mid. He's going to look to buy a Warmogs again.
Yep, he is actually farming that up. He has 540. He's not really that close to it. He's just going back to get more sustain. Knows he's pushed the lane. Froggen's still in mid, just continuously lasering this down, trying to get all the CS that he can. 293, the highest in the game. He sits on 9,000 gold right now, and the closest behind him is actually Nijaki at 8,200.
Froggen doing a great job farming. He just picked up his Void Staff, finished off both his Death Cap and Void Staff now. He can pretty much one-shot anyone, any squishy target without any MR. So, Kog'Maw or Orianna, I think, can both die here. As long as Ori doesn't get hit, or doesn't apply.
Both teams doing the same exact thing, just roaming around, like you said, trying to pick someone off at different times, but every time they're always dispersed and in a different direction. So right now, Saint just returns to sweeping with his Oracle. Snoopy, he also has one. And that's a still. Saint has not gone down, and neither has Snoopy, so these Oracles have been standing. And really getting that return on investment. Nijacking top and mid. Such a slow middle part of the game. Nobody wants to do anything after that dragon fight.
No, absolutely not. And this is like CLGU, like what they're good at doing. It's just that a lot of teams haven't been able to force them into a situation where they're forced to play and turtle it out. The problem is the fact that they're actually forced to do this means that Curse has been putting in enough pressure here to force them to play their real playstyle, which is very surprising. I think a lot of people expected Curse to come into this showing with a pretty bad showing, but they've been impressing so far, especially with unorthodox picks, or an unorthodox pick. Sorry.
This is somewhat scaring me for Curse, though. Really, I feel like both of these teams, you know, CLG has the Malphite initiation. They have the dive buddy comp with Aurelia, but I feel like there is certainly no initiation from Curse. Nobody's going to walk into that command shockwave. It's going to have to be a catch. It's going to have to be off a dragon or a blue buff take. Nobody's going to find someone in the lane right now, and these guys are just going to be farm festing all over the place.
No, that's really it. They're going to look for the superior late game with Nunu Cog, and that's all they're looking for. Froggen almost hitting that Q. Had that Q hit, Cop may have died right there.
So there, a little movement onto the blue buff. They get a ward down. They don't have any vision on that area, just towards that mid. So Snoopy's going to take that out, and they don't know which position he is going to move to. Aurelia may have been seen on that top side. Saint has eyes.
That should be
on Wicked.
Yep.
Stolen away. Every time Froggen plays mid, he's always getting the blue, the pressure from his team, helping to take that one out. They're trying to reinitiate. Wicked taking a bit of burst damage here. He's down to half. He forces the flash. True Shot does pass quite nicely through the team. It looks like they're both taking a second thought at this.
Okay, so Lux misses her abilities. I'm curious if Saint will go in, regardless of the fact that his ulti is now down. So we have Lux ulti will be coming up again. So every time Lux fishes for a bind, you have to be really, really careful.
So many zoning properties of each team. You can see the ball as well as that Lucent Singularity.
The thing is, Sleepy really needs to clear out that ward so they don't have sight. Ooh, but he doesn't know that it's there.
If they can get to it, he may have seen it off.
Wicked's just shoving middle. I think if CLG literally collapses middle right now, they can get that tower and maybe look to pressure the next tower, forcing 4 people to come in, as well as Void to teleport in.
Void has taken that bottom turret. He may have the chance to teleport in just a few seconds. They're going to be able to grab this mid turret as well, but Void stays on the run for right now. It does not look like he's backing.
One person has to back for Void then.
Yep, Froggen is going to be the one to do that.
Oh, Froggen gets hot.
Oh, he did. Froggen trying to flash over the wall. He was right by Wraiths. Saint will land another one. A great binding, but he is just going to break through that with the Merc Treads, and it looks like they may be able to put on a good amount of pain here. Beautiful absolute zero, and the exhaust before he shifts away. Yellow Pete finds himself going down. Snoopy in a tight spot, but look what Void is doing inside the base. He almost has an inhibitor to himself. A huge moves here for Curse.
Right, no, that was a really bad time to get caught by Froggen. He went back in a really bad place. That's all it is.
And there it is, trying to initiate the super slow on both of them, but the Wither lasting a little bit longer than the Equilibrium Strike. And here comes the uncontested Baron.
Ooh, and that gave Curse the game right there.
We will see. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Both of these teams definitely taking their time. The crowd applauding Curse for just plays all around the map. We're going to get a quick replay of all that action.
Alright, you see Froggen get hit with the initial clear. He's forced to flash, he gets exhausted, but unfortunately the Oriana speed bump just connects too fast. And they try to burn through Mundo, they don't get it. And unfortunately, once you get caught like that, your whole team, anyone who helps you gets caught as well.
You see Saint picking up a nice dragon off of that, completely increasing their lead. And with all that happening, wow, that was a lot of action. It's really only a 5,000 gold lead at 4-0, but Chris is maintaining perfect control over this game right now. Lanes haven't been really too much won or lost. We do see the Wicked has that 253 CS over Nasus, but he has the 2 kills. Both of these teams are really beefy coming into these fights, and it's really all up to skill for these fights right now. Not for CLG at this point. They have to wait on the Baron, so they're going to let these towers go down.
Right, exactly. And you see a bunch of players from Curse picking up some MR. You see Void pick up the MR. The Spirit Visage already finished by Mundo as a first item, so they know that he is like a threat. He's definitely a threat to the point where they have to buy MR or else his damage will be very, very high. As long as Cop doesn't have MR yet, Cop could still get one shot by Lux, which means they still have a good shot at winning this game.
That Nasus pick.
Oh yeah, no.
Boy, really cleaning
really
up.
making me eat my words right now. I think that I don't know. They synergized it really well. It gave him a lot of opportunities to get past the early game, his weakest portion, and able to transition into a late game. And one mistake by Froggen cost them this game.
Even in a situation like that, I feel that, you know, as Kog'Maw was at maybe like the European regionals where people continued to play him a little bit because nobody really had played him in a while and knows how to play against him. That's the same thing with Nasus. When you know, Voyboy plays Aurelia as well, and it was almost like the Malphite Aurelia matchup for Wicked previously that he was really just able to take down. It's like he knew the timings of Aurelia, and he really played that lane well. Like we even said, with little help from Saint, they were still able to keep that lane down.
Right. But even if it's an awkward pick and it puts a surprise on your enemies, it's still a pick that's not picked for a reason. Mainly because it has very key weaknesses, such as very bad laning phase, for instance, that cause it to be unpopular. Or
that really slow ramp up time. We see the pressure trying to be thwarted here by CLG EU. They've been pushed back into their base. Very familiar position for them to come out of as well. It looks like they're just going to go all in on this turret, face tank it out, pushing down into the inhibitor turret. So all second tier turrets are now down. The bottom lane taken out by Voyboy himself, really giving Curse an advantage on map positioning. The Baron is still ticking. They have not let that go to waste, and they're just doing everything they need to advance themselves to this win right now.
Right, kind of just waiting for Cop to finish off his next item, and we finally get an Aegis pickup. Took 32 minutes, but typically when Saint builds Mundo, he doesn't like to be like that team player Mundo. He likes to build the Warmogs, which is actually very, very strong in him because you can't get enough farm in the jungle to build both Warmogs as well as Aegis. So he has to make a decision, and this time he decided to build the Warmogs as well as get a Sunfire here.
Really wants to put himself in the fight. I think that Randuin's is coming up quickly next. It'll really help to shut down even more with Wither and Frozen Heart. They'll just be able to rock the AD carries. Yellow Pete really won't be able to get anywhere. They have so much catch and just stickiness on this Curse team that they can just catch at least one person, even if they're getting kited.
And this is a really strange buy by Jockey. He's looking to go Rylai's here, and I've heard people tell me how Rylai's is good on Oriana, but I've never actually seen it in a competitive game. Like so therefore I kind of like thought it wasn't that great. But I may be wrong. I just like to see how it works out for Ori here.
I definitely see where that is. I feel like there may be a little bit of money wasted on that. She does need a little bit of sustain, but they have so much of what that Rylai's is going to provide for their team. They have the damage, they have the slow. Yeah, it's going to help. It's going to help great, but you could have put that into a Void Staff with more damage.
Yeah, I just feel like a Void Staff would have been a better item, but maybe he just wants to be a little bit tankier to survive the Snoop A initiation, which definitely would make sense.
That's true. He's going to be putting that ball on Cop, trying to protect somebody else, so he's not going to have his defense for himself. Pushed back into their base. That inhibitor has spawned. This is really that free area for Curse to be playing around in. Wicked trying to put some pressure on St. Vicious, not forcing the ulti. But St. Vicious hitting back as well.
And this is the issue with Wicked's build. So he's got this build that doesn't build any defensive items. And he really can't go into an area and expect to come out alive because he's so squishy. As a bruiser, if you're a melee and you're squishy, oh, it's such a bad. It's really, really bad to play that into any kind of coordinated team because they'll all just focus you and you'll die. The Yellow Pea taking half its health in poke, and look at that slow. It lasts so long, and it goes to like a ridiculously high percentage.
Wow, Kog'Maw just going through. It's going to be an ulti from Malphite. The laser pretty much missing along with True Shot Barrage. That's so much damage that could have been had. They go simply for the inhibitor here, and a great engagement. They just take that and run with it.
I think they could have killed Yellow Pete there. Yellow Pete had 3 seconds. Well, actually, no, he had flash. No, the best they could have done was for flash. Never mind. It was smarter than to just taking him.
So Curse goes back to completely controlling the entire jungle. At least 3 wards cover that right side of the blue jungle. And they don't have 4 wards. They really have no vision, especially that lane ward as well, to let them know if they're coming out of the base and what moves they can make to get a different angle on this fight. They know they have CLG EU on their heels. They just need to make this next fight count. Baron is going to be up in 1 minute, Scarra. So that's going to be huge for this matchup. Whichever way that goes. I think there's, that middle lane is quite close. That's the last tier for the inhibitor. And then the Nexus, it's 17, level 18. These are going to be some long respawn times.
The issue right now is Nasus is too strong. No one can 1v1 them, so they need to send 2 to stop a split push. And there's teleport on Voy, so it's going to be an issue where as soon as Baron comes up, Voy's just going to go split push bottom and then teleport up. And either 2 comes to kill him, and he maybe 1v2s,
right,
or they get a free Baron. And either way, they come out on top.
Definitely have to point out how far Snoopy has fallen behind this game. He is 50, almost now 60 CS behind St. Vicious, level 17 to 14. He's 3 levels behind St. Vicious right now. Really not able to be that beef for his team when he gets into the fight. We'll have to see how that contributes. He does have the Oracle. He still hasn't died, but he hasn't been making too much contribution to the lanes either.
3 people are going bottom right now, so Voy may be able to go back, may not.
This looks like straight old CLG here. It's like hot shot down bottom on Cho'Gath. Nobody's going to kill him, and they're going to give up this Baron. Looks like Malphite and Lux going to Baron. They aren't able to take him out. He is running here. He will be able to throw down the Wither once more. They have grabbed Baron. They're now making their way down to the base. They have Nasus in there. Voyboy is going to go down. So he's going to have to be very careful. It's only going to be a 4v5. They have Snoopy on the run. Him being down levels. He's taking so much damage. They've now evened up the score. 4v4, but the Baron buff, they are trying to take down elements. The Protect goes on from Orianna. The Dissonance damage just missing. It could have really activated that initiation for them. Then that better Catalyst. Back in down to St. Vicious. Oh my gosh! So much damage coming from Cop in that Infinity Edge onto Kog'Maw. And they're just going to take down this turret. Cop waiting for that next minion wave, waiting for that W to come back up. He's going to stay within safe range and drop that if St. Vicious doesn't get there in time. He doesn't even wait for the minion wave. He takes the ball, gets that Bio Arcane Barrage range, and takes out the turret.
Right, and now they have another free inhib. All they have to do is go back after this, slow roll the mid tower, and they win the game. Very, very smart play by Curse this game. Very, very smart play.
That was at what point, Voyboy is going to stay in your base, but he's quite low. Would it even? I guess it wouldn't even been a choice for somebody to run up there. It was just too long.
No, yeah. The problem with Nasus Q affecting buildings means that he can chunk 500 health in 1 Q, so they have to send one to stop him, because if they force a 4v5 fight, he can get the Nexus before you even kill people.
Saint throwing on the ultimate, looks to make it out.
Oh,
he gets stuck within the Lucent Singularity and the bind. Beautiful job to slow St. Vicious. They do have the Ignite on. They will finish the kill. And slowly creeping back, CLG EU grabs onto the first rung of this ladder.
And here, Wicked's just going to get slowed, and yeah, you can't do anything.
A little bit of Wither. Super slow-mo chase.
Yeah, so Wicked sells his Zerker boots for Mercs because he realizes that Wither is a high priority threat. And that's something that he should have opened with, because that would have been a lot better.
It really kept him down in lane. He wasn't even able to trade with damage. Voyboy just stayed pretty much under his tower the whole game. Wicked, how you said, was able to farm that Blade Surge under the turret, pretty effective. But into this late game, Nasus is huge, especially that Force of Nature helping the regen on his HP as he just runs around and kites you throughout the fight. Dragon, Baron, last 2 of each going to Curse as they completely control this game and have a 8,000 gold lead onto CLG EU. this could be a final push, Scar. They're looking to take down this middle inhibitor. Their lanes are pushed actually to second tier right now, so this is perfect timing. Everybody's going to have to focus middle.
Right. And they should just send Nasus bottom. Or actually, yes. No, yeah, they can send them in the side lane and force a lot of pressure, or they can just force the 5v5 because the middle tower's down. Then yeah, they can just run straight through. They're so tanky that it will be extremely hard to be able to kill not only Saint, but Saint and Void.
Yep, they only have 1 minute and 30 seconds left on this Baron.
One of the issues with Lux is that she's a very bursty champion, but she's got a very long cooldown. To reach her consistent DPS isn't that good.
The ultimate coming in from Snoopy. True Shot Barrage hitting the entire team. They could turn this one around for themselves, but Wicked is left all alone. They weren't ready for the engagement. They're dealing with St. Vicious right now. Snoopy forced out of the fight as well, and Curse turns this one and turns CLG on their heads for this fight coming around with Baron. They're able to just take down the last inhibitor. The bottom one has spawned. They have the Nexus in their sights. Nope. They're going to drop this inhibitor and finish off the match.
That's GG. Real good play by Curse. Very, very surprisingly won with Nasus. Very, very surprising.
So Scara forced to eat a hat. Curse coming up with game one. We're 1-1 now in a series.